I'm outside with it, y'all. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Let me drink my water. Super thirsty. Hello. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Saturday and enjoying your weekend. These bugs are tearing me up, but it's all good because the show must go on. So, as the title says, why should we raise our vibration? Why should we raise our vibration? So, just so that y'all know, this channel is all about frequency, vibration, energy healing, showing you ways of how to raise your vibration through the 7 main chakras. And just to reiterate, if you hadn't had the opportunity to look at my chakra series videos on what the chakras are all about, chakras are wheels of energy that make up our energetic body, our life force. They are connected to different aspects of ourselves and our lives, and they also represent different levels of consciousness. And so I teach about the chakras from a practical perspective, but also from a spiritual perspective as well, and physical and emotional, of course. Now, when it comes to the chakras, they're also connected to our endocrine system. And so it's important to understand how the chakras impact us on a physical level so that we can make the uncommon connections of the issues or the diseases that we experience in this realm. So with that being said, let's talk about why is it important to raise your vibration? Well, one thing I do want to say is it's important to raise your vibration because we live in such a dense and heavy society. And because of that, because we live in a dense and heavy society, it's important for us to be light in our light body, in our light energetic body, so that we can be and make the changes that we want to see. And that's on a more like philosophical type of tip. But I just kind of want us to get in the mindset and expand consciousness when it comes to the heaviness that we're dealing with right now in the world, in our society, in our nation. It's a lot of shootings and killings and things going on in politics that we're not in agreement with. And essentially what we are going through right now is a breakdown of the system. And things are shifting and changing and moving. So all of the chaos that is going on right now, the best thing that you can do is govern yourself accordingly. And how you can do that is raise your vibration so that we can put our focus and our energy on the things that truly matter to us and to this nation and the world. So I just want to provide y'all with different ways, 3 different ways of how you can raise your vibration. And I also, again, I'm doing something new on this channel. I'm going to challenge myself. I wanted to just do it, but I'll just like hold myself accountable and challenge myself to go live every day on the YouTube side. We'll see what that's looking like. But yeah, I just want to come on and provide perspective and to help with the elevation of consciousness in this planet. Now, I know deep down inside, I know that I don't have the power to wake anyone up. I have the power to wake myself up and plant seeds so that you can go within in hopes that something sparks within you and you find out who you truly are. It's not my job to tell you who you are. It's not my job to change you. It's my job to provide you with the perspective, and what you do with it is up to you. So, with that being said, make sure if y'all catch these videos, Let me know, like, what are y'all thoughts about what's going on in the world? What are your thoughts about just everything? You know, like, how are we feeling collectively as a vibration? How are we feeling? The reason why it's important, another point that I want to mention is it's important to raise your vibration because not only because of the heaviness that we're dealing with, but also what you attract when you're on a specific vibration. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, whatever vibration or frequency that you're vibrating at, it doesn't really matter. You're going to attract everything. However, having the discernment is super, super important in this world. So if you're operating on a low vibrational frequency, you are susceptible to become a quote unquote victim. You are susceptible of, you think of it as in you're the prey. You're the prey of all things negative. Now, everyone experiences negative things, but it's the fact that if you operate in a low vibrational frequency, when you encounter negativity or negative events or circumstances, it can impact you the most. And the reason why is because you're operating in such that frequency. So let me come up. I feel like I'm talking a different language, so let me come up a little bit. Let me give you an example. Okay, low vibrational frequency. So let's say that the easiest thing that I always go to is anger, fear, sadness, all of that. All of that, you know, derives from fear, but we're just gonna pick anger. So let's say that something happened to you, because energy is real. We're talking about energy, right? Let's say that you're super, super angry because you got written up at work. You got written up at work, and you're angry because you felt unjust. You felt like it was an unjust act. And so now you're harboring this negative energy. It's a low vibrational frequency that you're harboring. And so you leave work, and let's say you stop at the gas station. Stop at the gas station, you get gas, and you go in the store because you want to grab a snack. And so you're at the register, and the cashier is taking their time or something, and now you're angry and you're impatient. So now you're transferring negativity onto this cashier by the energy that you're exuding, or by you saying something inappropriate to that cashier. So now you guys are going back and forth because of, you're not angry because the cashier said something to you or the cashier is doing something. The root of your anger it derives from you getting written up at work, and you hadn't resolved that before leaving. So now you're transferring the energy. Then you get a call on your way home about your child acting up in school. Now you're upset, so that's just piling on the anger. And so now when you get home, like it's just this big thing, and now it's a low vibrational frequency, and it's just event after event after event. So when you're mindful of the energy that you harbor and that you possess, then you can operate differently. So let's just go back to the same event. You got written up at work. It's like, you can accept it, and your feelings are valid. So you being angry is always valid. I mean, it doesn't mean it's right, but it's always valid. Your emotions are valid. And how you can deal with that is, accept, you may be and disagree with it. Maybe you go talk to the supervisor or your manager and put in a pill. Is it a pill? A pill. Yes, a pill. Put in a pill and discuss why you were written up to begin with, or position yourself in such a way where you can let them know why you are not deserving of the write-up. I don't know, but that's an example. Another way is to own up to it, accept it, that hey, maybe this write-up was worthy, I'm still upset, but allow yourself to be upset. Accept your anger, and sit with it for a little bit, even if you have to sit in the car. Oh, that scared me. Even if you have to sit in the car, you can, just take a moment to yourself to just be with yourself and allow that anger to go through, allow yourself to process those thoughts. And then make sure that you cleanse yourself. Deep breathing is always great. But then once you do that, then you can allow yourself to move forward. And then, you know, be calm with yourself, and then not allow yourself to be affected by and pass that energy along. And then you don't have to pass it along to the cashier. And even if you still get that call saying your child is acting up, you don't have to take your anger out on the child. And you don't have to do things that you may regret because of that. You know, you'll be able to come from a more emotionally intelligent place. So that was a very, very, very long example, but I just wanted to give you that example. You know, even with, like, you know, what's the saying? Accept the things that you cannot change. So we accept, even in situations where we have to accept the things that we cannot change, like with the new laws that are being passed right now. Like let's say we can accept what is going on right now, but we can look within ourselves and what can we do differently so that we don't have to be on the other end of the laws that are being passed in this nation. If you were in the U.S. specifically, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to get too specific with that. But nonetheless, let me provide y'all with 3 ways of how you can raise your vibration. Number 1 is be mindful of the food that you eat. This is a huge one, y'all. This is super huge, and not because I'm vegan. However, what you put in your body, we know the saying, you are what you eat. And not knocking you if you eat meat. If that's your lifestyle, that is wonderful, that's great, but I at least want to provide you with the perspective just so that you're mindful when you're eating meat and, you know, heavier or processed sugary foods or salty foods. When we eat these heavy low vibrational foods, meaning like meat, you know, fried processed foods, we are eating dense food that make us feel heavy, that are harder to process and break down in our body. They may not be able to digest in our body. And also, just to provide y'all with the perspective, when you eat and consume meat, I don't know if y'all ever heard this before, but you actually pick up the karma of the animal that you ate. I know it sounds wild, but you're picking up their karma. Chicken, beef, pork, anything of that nature, shrimp, lobsters, whatever it is that has eyes and that has parents, you're picking up the karma of that animal. So and I know you're like, okay, Jamisi, what are you talking about? What do you mean? So when you eat meat and all of those things, and you pick up the karma of that animal, you may start to experience, I don't know, like just different emotions. You may start experiencing emotions especially if you're eating it frequently. And you may not understand or wonder why certain things are happening, or why you're thinking in such a way, or why you feel displaced. Well, the saying again, you are what you eat, is truly something that I would love for us to consider. Because if you're eating, that animal passed in a traumatic way, and you're putting that trauma in your body, and now you're putting trauma in your body, and now your body is syncing your chemistry, your energetic field, with a dead animal's energetic field. And the frequency and vibrations are not aligning, so then you experience chaos internally. So that's just something that I would love for us to consider and just think about it. You know, look more into that if you've never heard that before, but I just want to shed light on that. But one way to raise your vibration is to eat more fruits and vegetables and whole grains, whole foods, essentially. Is it raining? I think it's raining, y'all. But it's okay. Thug life. We're going to keep going. So, raising your vibration with fruits, vegetables, live foods, electric foods. And believe it or not, y'all, like, even when you like read on it and you learn about, like, you know, foods to eat, or if you go to the doctors and they tell you eat more fruits and vegetables, even when I was getting my degree in nutrition education, in the books, it would say, we would talk about certain aspects of the bodies, or certain things help with certain diseases and certain ailments and illnesses and issues. And lo and behold, it would always have some recommendation, would always be some type of fruit or vegetable. So to me, I'm just like, and this is just me speaking on my lifestyle. So to me, in my mind, it's like, well, it only makes sense to be vegan, because that lowers your risks and chances of experiencing a lot of diseases that a lot of people experience in this world. So eat more fruits and vegetables, drink more water, of course, stay hydrated, take some time off to fast, to give your body a break, to reset. We all have phones, and every once in a while, if our phones are acting up, and we take it to the Apple store, or there's not an Android store, right? That's how you know I'm an Apple user. I don't even know what else they got, but Samsung? What store? Do y'all got a store? I'm sorry, Android users. Don't get me. I'm just not about that life. So you take your phone to the store to get it reprogrammed, or if something's going on. The first thing that they do is they reset the phone. They do a factory reset on the phone. So then what that does is it takes the phone back to its original state. Its original state, from as if you bought it as if it was new. So I want us to start thinking about giving our body a factory reset. And this is when we take our body and put it in such a state where it can repair and heal itself by fasting. And so for those of you who don't know, this one of the things, programs that I push heavily is my 7-day fast, chakra fast. And the reason why is because on this fast, the first time that I did it, I've been fasting for almost 2 years now, almost every 3 months. That's usually the frequency, every 3 months for 7 days. And at the end of 2021, before a couple of months, I went on my longest fast, which is 62-day liquid fast, and I broke it at the top of this year, 2022. And every time that I fasted within the past 2 years, and that the longest fast at the end of last year, I've had phenomenal experiences. I'm not going to say that it was easy. I will never sit here and tell y'all that it was easy, but what I will tell you is that the feeling of experiencing what it's like to be your I was going to say, not your highest self, but to reach almost your fullest potential in your body is such a magical thing. Like, my body started doing things that I never thought that it could do. I started experiencing things that I've never experienced before, to that extent and that level, all by fasting. You know, I experienced my greatest spiritual awakening by fasting within the 7 days when I first started doing the fast, at the beginning of the pandemic. Experienced my greatest spiritual awakening. You know, I was able to work on my shadow, to see my shadow, to work on my shadows within, and trauma come to the surface. I was able to experience another level of peace I've never experienced before. I was able to eliminate cysts from my ovaries, y'all. It came out of me into the toilet, and it was one of the happiest days of my life. Within 7 days of doing it was an intense liquid fast, no food, just straight up juicing, herbal teas, and water, along with other things that I had to do for this fast. But it was so profound. My dreams were super, super clear. In the what's next video, I expressed to you all that, you know, that I'm intuitive. I am an intuitive empath. I have prophetic dreams, essentially a psychic, okay? But just specifically naming the abilities that I have. We all have these abilities, as I mentioned before. But clairvoyance, premonitions, telepathic, what else? There's some more. Oh, claircognizant. I'm tripping. Claircognizant is actually my #1 ability, intuitive ability. And so as I was mentioning in that the what's next video, I have those abilities. You all have those abilities. You may be aware of them, you may not be. But as for me, I know that I am highly intuitive, and I can read energies of the people around me. Yeah, you know, so I do definitely make sure that I have to be mindful of the energy that I'm around, because I can actually take on people's energies depending on how long I am around them or not. So I do require a lot of alone time, y'all. And I've been in hermit mode for a long time, for almost the majority of this entire month, aside from visiting family. But I say all that to say, being mindful of the gifts that I have, being mindful of the gifts that you have. You may not realize that you're exhausted after speaking to a certain person is because that the energy that you hold and possess within yourself could be feeding them. And I had to learn that too, because I never understood why I felt so drained a lot of the times after speaking to people, after being around people. I never understood that until I started to pay attention and learn, you know, and study, you know, what it means to be intuitive, what it means to be psychic, what it means to have these gifts. And it's like, oh, it makes sense, of course, you know. So I am super protective of the energy that I have, and I want you all to be protective of the energy that you have, because what I'm going to teach you on this channel is going to raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you attract more people to you, because they see this bright, shiny light, and they want to get to know, why are you shining so bright? Why are you so light? Like, what's going on in your world? What are you doing, and how can I get some of it? So you do have to be mindful of that. And I say all that to say, by me fasting, I'm gonna tell y'all, the first time that I did it, the first time was one of the times that I did it. I didn't know that I was vibrating so high. I didn't know my frequency was like so high. So it was like maybe a couple days after I've broken my fast. I broke my fast, and I remember going to a friend's birthday party, and immediately, and I'm not exaggerating, y'all, as soon as I got around people, I had my head wrapped, because I know that when you are wide open like that, fasting, energy, you're like susceptible to energy, so you have to cover your crown. Like, that is just rule #1 if you didn't know. However, what I didn't know is, even if your crown is covered, I'm telling you, the density of the energy of people that I felt was so heavy that I immediately wanted to drop. Like, so I had to take a break. This is crazy. I had to take a break and go to the car and take a nap, y'all. Because I was like tired. Like, as soon as I got around people, you know, I'm thinking, you know, good vibes, gonna enjoy the vibes. That was not it. Sleepy. I immediately got sleepy, went to the car, took a nap, got back out, went back in, I felt like I was like rejuvenated. All right, let's get it. And no. So then I learned quickly that it's going to take you some time to go back into the real world and adjust when after completing fasting after 7 days. And I did apply my fast to each chakras. So that's just something that I wanted to throw in there. But fasting, I say that to say, within those 7 days, my body was healing itself. Within those 7 days, like, everything was repairing within me. It was so profound. And not only was my physical body repairing and healing itself, but my emotional body was healing itself, y'all. Like, things that I've suppressed over the years, and things I hadn't dealt with at that time, just coming up to the surface. Things like just experiences that I had that I, tried to push back or push down within me came up, and I'm like, whoa, this is some powerful shit. Like it was like real life. Like I had to face myself. And that's not a fun thing to do, y'all. I think a powerful person, one of the most powerful people on this world, are the people who actually face their trauma. We're so distracted by the stimulants of society, social media, and I can attest to that. That is actually one of my weaknesses. But social media, TV, television, just people always contacting us all the time. These TVs, the screens, the laptops, just everything. The lights everywhere on billboards, in the cars, and these stimulants are everywhere, right? And the hustle and bustle is always going, and we are always on the go. We always have things planned. We always have something to do. We can never get a break. And the reason why I believe society is built this way is because we are all afraid to face ourselves, to truly face ourselves. And when the pandemic hit, y'all, I think it may sound wild, but I think that the pandemic was like one of the best things that could have happened to us. And the reason why I say that personally is because it forced us to stop in our tracks. It forced us to look at ourselves. It forced us to look at the people around us, and if we like those people or not. It forced us to look at ourselves to see if we like ourselves or not. It forced us to deal with things that we've been running from for a long time. And when I tell you, this pandemic has caused a shake up in our lives, in our world, and I think it's necessary because our foundations weren't built on solid ground. So we had to destroy and dismantle what our foundations were built on. Although it may seem like everything was good, everything is truly not good. Because if you are constantly going on the go in this life and you're not looking at what's going on, you're not assessing and reassessing and making changes along the way, something in your system is causing an issue and you're not paying attention to it. So it was good for us to have this pandemic. I know for me, I did a lot of introspection, y'all, for 2 years. For 2 years, and still going, but I experienced so many deaths and rebirths, and spiritual awakenings. And one thing for people who've never experienced a spiritual awakening, who don't know what it is, that's not something that just happens once. You may have a really great one, but that thing is going to continue to happen as you evolve and you become aware, as you learn, as you study. So for me, I've had several spiritual awakenings, and I continue to have them because I'm continuing to challenge myself to accept every aspect of me and to integrate the light and the shadow of me. Because at the end of the day, I have to live with myself, and I have to be my own best friend. And if you're not your own best friend, that is a problem. I think the worst problem to have is to always be around people to the point where you know people more than you know yourself. And that's a scary thing. And I know for me, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I can honestly say that I can spend too much time with myself and not enough social time. And I've gotten better at that, to be honest. There's still a work in progress, I'm not gonna lie. I just, again, can be sensitive around energies and prefer to just be in my own space. But I've learned how to protect my energies in that regard. But nonetheless, it's just necessary for us to be mindful of our energy at the end of the day. Be mindful of the food that we consume. Give our body a break. Give your body a rest. Fast. If you just want to start with 3 days, do a 3-day fast, like a 3-day water fast, a 3-day juice fast. If you just want to consume fruits and vegetables for a week, do that. For me, my most profound experience was doing a 7-day fast, liquid fast, which changed my life dramatically in so many ways. I hadn't even given y'all the depth of what truly happened within that time frame, but now in 7 days I experienced all of that. Imagine what I experienced in 62 days, y'all. Wow, that's all I gotta say. That was a whole nother level. And just to give y'all a little bit, it felt like every 10 days I was unlocking another level of consciousness. I felt I was in my goddess body, y'all. When I tell you my goddess body, like it felt like I was floating. It felt like I was floating through life, but not even just floating, but I felt super, super magnetic. Like I was extremely magnetic. So I had to be very mindful of my energy and my thoughts and, you know, the things that I did and consumed, because when you vibrate in that high, boy, when I tell you the manifestations, it ain't no joke. But it's a good thing, because when you're in your God or goddess body, you are in your true power of who you truly are and who you're meant to be in this lifetime, and you can actually experience another level of peace and happiness and joy and whatever it is that you desire just by what you consume. So moving on, number 2, declutter. Number 2, the second way to raise your vibration is to declutter your environment. And your environment can be your home, your place of living. It can be the people you surround yourself by or with. It can also be the places that you go to. Declutter your environment. Super, super important. For me, my spirit led me at the beginning of this year, around my birthday time actually, and to declutter. And I'm just like, okay, you know, I think it's good. You know, I'm just listening to my spirit. Wasn't quite sure why, but I just went with the flow. And as I was in the process of decluttering, and it's something that I teach as well, if you feel a shift, an energy shift in your aura in your energetic field when you declutter. And the reason why I teach this is because starting with the root chakra, one of the activities that I give is to cleanse your home. When you cleanse and declutter your home, you are setting such a foundation in such a way that, you know, creates a solid foundation for you. Now, for me, there wasn't much for me to declutter. I'm about to go a little deep here, so follow with me, and then we're going to come back up with it, okay? So I was led to declutter, and I'm just like, okay, for the most part, I keep my apartment in pretty good tact, in good shape or whatever. So I'm just like, what do I got to declutter? But you really don't know what you have to declutter until it's time for you to declutter. So I was led to go into my closets and my drawers and my shelves and my pantry and declutter. And I'm just like, okay. So I was like, all right. So I started to go through my clothes. Y'all, I had a lot of clothes. I got rid of a whole bunch of clothes. It was crazy. You know, I gave it to Goodwill. And that was just wild. It actually took me a few days. Can you imagine, to go through my closet? And like I said, again, it's not like everything was all over the place. It was the fact that I took all of my clothes out of my closet and my shoes, went through every single piece of article, and then put them all back, the ones that I wanted to keep back in there, and left out a whole bunch and some shoes. And so I did that with my pantry. There was so much stuff in there that I just wasn't using, and I just it was crazy. It was like I took all of the stuff out of my closets and my drawers, and my apartment looked wild at that time. And I did always do it. My goal was to complete it by my birthday. I was doing it the week of my birthday, y'all. I say all that to say, let me get to the point. In hindsight 2020, my apartment was good. You know, I love decorating and all that good stuff, so I love how my apartment looks. I love the aesthetics. I love the vibes, the feeling, the energy. It's a very peaceful, tranquil energy that I have in my apartment. The thing is, I believe that our home is a true representation of who we are internally, and it manifests externally. So coming into my apartment, on the surface level, everything looks fine, it looks beautiful, it looks nice, it looks tidy, it's clean, everything is all well. But what I didn't realize was that behind the scenes, behind the doors, behind the drawers, in my closet, this is going to help somebody. I already know it because I feel it. I'm about to start channeling real quick. But on the deeper level, behind all these drawers and these closets and these everything that was unseen was a mess. So then it made me look at my life. It made me look at myself and say, how is this a reflection of me? So what I realized was, on the outside, everything was well put and put together. I was well put and put together. Everything seems okay. I was moving through life as everything was all good and all dandy. But behind closed doors, internally, there were things within me I haven't dealt with. There were things inside of me that I did not accept. There were parts of me that I was shunning because I could not come to grips and terms of certain aspects of me and things that I didn't even know that were there. So I had to continue to do the work, and I was called and led to declutter. I don't know why this is making me emotional right now. I'm gonna keep it together. Thug life. Sorry, I'm just playing. I do believe in expressing emotions and all that good stuff. I just didn't know that it was gonna come up, while I was explaining this. But I say that to say, y'all, like, after decluttering and cleansing what was behind closed doors, it made space and it opened me up to accept the things within me and to clean up things about me that I have to address. I know my shortcomings and my flaws like nobody's business. No one can tell me about myself like me. I know where I fall short within myself, and I know my strengths as well. And I'm glad about it. I'm glad that I was able to see, and I'm glad that I was led to declutter and to purge things that I no longer need. And this can apply to you in your life as well. What is it that you have to purge in your life that's no longer serving you? Who do you have to purge in your life who's no longer serving you? What is it? What is it behind closed doors that you're dealing with that nobody knows about? How can you address that with yourself and come to terms with it, accept it, embrace it, deal with it, and let it go? And if it's not something to let it go, but it's something to integrate in your spirit, what does that look like for you? I know for me, that was so profound. It was powerful. And at the end of the day, and I finished on my actual birthday, just to let you know. Was it on my birthday or the day after? Either way, I finished the purge. But after that, excuse me, I was able to rest in myself. And I felt this huge energetic shift. The crazy thing is, this is the exact same apartment that I've been in for a minute now. But it's the fact that after decluttering and purging and cleansing what no longer served my apartment, I felt this energetic shift within me, and I saw my environment in a completely different way. It was like I got rid of the things that were holding me down. I got rid of the things that was creating stagnant energy in my apartment, and it shifted the entire energy. And it may sound odd, but I started to see my apartment in a different way that I've never seen it before. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And I say all that to say, as I teach on this channel, it's all about chakras, right? our homes represent our root chakra. I had to face some things in my root chakra and clean that up so that I can create a solid foundation for myself, so that I can see what works and what does not work, so that I can see what I'm holding on from childhood and different things that I've experienced in life, and what I need to let go of, and what I need to integrate in my life. So it gave me the vision to see clearly. It gave me the vision to see clearly what foundation that I had, and if I needed to change it or not, in which I did need to change my foundation, and I'm so happy that I did. So back to the to the point, you know, I went on a tangent, but I know that was necessary for whoever watches this video. You know, that part may help someone nonetheless. Decluttering the environment, your home, the places you go to. You know, as you start to work on yourself, you're not going to resonate with places you once found yourself being attracted to. The reason why is because you no longer will be operating on that frequency and vibration anymore. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, and it doesn't mean that the people who go to those places are bad people. It just means that you are not vibrating on the same frequency. So you no longer resonate with something that you're not vibrating with. And that can go for people too. It does not mean that the people that you don't resonate with anymore are bad people. You just don't resonate with them anymore, and it's okay. And it's okay, you know. So that's number 2, declutter your environment. Number 3, y'all, number 3 is to be mindful. This is a huge one, because now we're going to talk about the subconscious level. Number 3 is to be mindful of what you listen to and what you watch, and who you speak to and what you speak. This is important because what we pour into our ears, what we feed our ears, what we feed our mind through our eyes, and what we spew out of our mouth creates a powerful vibration in the energetic magnetic field, which emits frequency and vibrations out, and you call it back in. Say that to say, what we watch on television, I don't watch TV. You know, if I'm with like family or friends and they want to watch a movie, I'll watch it. But as wild as it may seem, I do not watch TV, y'all. But that doesn't make me like better than anyone by me saying that, because I love YouTube and I'm still on social media. So I'm speaking to myself when I say this is something I still have to constantly work on, because we all, you know what I mean, like no one is perfect, and we know this, and we don't even have to say that, but I just want to make that statement. We have to be mindful of what we watch, because now you're programming your subconscious mind. So not only is your subconscious mind programmed from what you've dealt with in childhood and different experiences you had in life, through the ups and the downs, the challenges and the turmoil, the good days, the celebratory days, irregardless, your subconscious mind is being programmed by the experiences that you have and the experiences that you create. So, therefore, the music that you listen to, the TV that you watch, is all programming your mind. Now, we can sit here and say, and it's fair to say that, oh, if we watch a whole bunch of crime shows or First 48, I don't even know if that show is still on or not. I just know my sister, she loved watching those like crime stuff. So I just wanted to say that. But if we watch all of these things and listen to music that's talking about killing 24/7 and all of that, and degrading women, degrading men, it's seeping into our subconscious mind, and we can sit here and say, oh no, I would never do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Or, I mean, I know right from wrong. Yes, you know right from wrong. However, although you know right from wrong, when you allow these things to pour into your spirit, so the way to get to your spirit is through your ears, through your eyes, and what you speak out and what you respond to. That is how you get to your spirit. And if we're constantly watching a lot of reality shows and TV shows that are not beneficial to our mind and our consciousness, especially the news, y'all. I'm so sorry. The news is just straight propaganda. It's just seriously created to keep us in a state of fear, to keep the masses in a state of fear. I'm not saying don't know what's going on in the world, but what I'm saying is that too much of the news can keep you in this perpetual state of fear. And whew, when you operate a fear, we already know how that goes. It's nothing good comes from fear. Now we don't want to go anywhere. We don't want to do anything. We want to stay in our shell. We don't want to. And I know this, and I don't even watch the news. I know for me, there's different ways that fear can come, and attach itself to me. And I'm not, I'm not a superhuman to that. It hits everyone in different ways. But what I'm saying is that we have to be mindful of what we watch or what we listen to, and especially who we gauge in communication with. That is a big one. That is a huge one, actually. Because if you are surrounding yourself around people who gossip all day, who talk about things that are unimportant, who talk about things that are not conducive to what you have going on in your life and what they have going on in their life in a good way, in a positive way, then that is just a low vibrational frequency and a wheel cycle that you're going to be stuck on. So I'm not saying don't talk to people who, constantly talk about low vibrational things, but protect your energy in that regard. You can change the conversation. You can cut the conversation short, or you can let them know that you're not emotionally available to take on the energy that they're about to give to you. So those are just a few examples. But who we speak to, be mindful of that, especially on this journey. As you develop yourself, you're going to start to see around you, the people that may not have the best conversations towards the elevation of life and just to talk about. So just be mindful of that. The music part, now I love music, y'all. That is like a love language for me. I love all types of music, the good vibes in every single way, what feels good to my soul. The only thing is the Rashay music is so hard for me, y'all. Yes, I said Rashay music. It's just the beat is always so good. It's always so good. Why do they do that? They do it on purpose, but still, you know what I mean? I just, especially at the gym, it helps me go. So because I'm aware that I do have to, reprogram my mind and my spirit by, I love listening to sleep frequencies or meditations at night. So it can help me with my subconscious mind and frequency and energy while I'm asleep. And I think it's a powerful thing because, again, what we listen to, what we see, what we speak, and what we receive is how we get to our spirit. So it helps a lot. So if you find yourself to be in that type of energy where you're constantly watching the news, you're constantly watching reality TV or on social media, give yourself a break. Just give yourself a break for like a week and just watch how different your life will feel. You will feel a energy of peace around you because you're not being sucked in. Like, all of these stimulants are meant to keep us sucked in so that we can be programmed through everything that's going on in the world. So, yes, but be mindful. Be mindful of that. But these are the 3 ways of how you can raise your vibration. Oh, so for the third one, just to give you an example, like I mentioned already, you can listen to sleep meditations if you want to change that way about yourself by listening to certain music, by watching certain things or speaking certain things. Being mindful of the words. I didn't address that, but I'm going to briefly address it. Be mindful of the words that you speak out of your mouth. Super powerful, especially what you speak to yourself or what you think about yourself. That's powerful. That's something that I know that I have to be mindful of and that I am intentionally mindful of. I'm not 100% at it, but I am aware of it about myself because I know that I can be my worst critic. But in the same breath, I know that I can be my #1 champion and cheerleader. So I say that to say I lean in more of the cheerleading side, because that's going to help me to show up as the best version of myself every day. And so I do speak affirmations to myself. When I feel down, I pump myself up, because if I don't have anyone around to pump myself up, although I do, I got to be my biggest cheerleader. I got to be my number one supporter, because I got to live with myself at the end of the day. So affirmations are super powerful, y'all, especially when you say them in the mirror, especially when you tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're proud of yourself, you're grateful for who you are, that you matter in this life, and that you are here for a reason and you are here for a purpose. Never think that you are useless and you are worthless, because you're not. You have a voice, you have a calling on your life. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it is yet. It's because you are living through the experience that's going to help somebody after you come out of it. So if you don't know what it is, it's just because you're simply in it. And if you know what it is, it's if you're not using it, use it to help somebody to get out. And I know I'm speaking to myself too, because I know that a lot of the experiences I've had, I'm meant to share, and I'm meant to teach and show perspectives of things. I'm not perfect, and I will never claim to be. I would never claim to be that, but I know that my purpose is to share my experiences, my knowledge, my wisdom, so that I can help somebody out there. Even if y'all didn't hear anything that I said in this video, but there's something in this video that you can resonate with. Doesn't matter if you don't resonate with all of it. Even if you resonate with all of it, there's something that I said in this video that can help you. And I know if I look back at it, it can help me too, because a lot of times I say things that I'm just channeling, and it's not even me. It's just me being used so that it can help someone. And then I go back and watch it, and it's actually helping me too for what I have going on. And so just so that you know, at the end of the day, whoever is vibrating on a certain frequency that comes across this video, I am just a reflection of you, and you are a reflection of me. So what you see in me is exactly what's in you. And I'm not trying to get philosophical, but it's the honest truth. What you see in me is the exact thing that you see within you. So if you see me in a light in such a way that is not positive, then that's something within you that you feel that is not positive within you. If you see me in a way of positivity, of light, then that means it's the same positivity and light that's within you. So whatever you recognize is the vibration and the frequency that you're on. So you may not be able to receive this message, or you may resonate and receive this message. Regardless, I just want y'all to know that it's time for us to raise our vibration, raise our frequency, because the chaos that we're experiencing right now in the world is only going to get worse. And we have to be prepared internally so that externally we can make the necessary changes that we need to make within our lives, our specific universe, our nation, and our world. So that is all that I have for y'all today. Let me know in the comments if you resonate with anything, if you have a thought about something, if this resonated with you, if it didn't resonate with you, if you agreed with what I said, if you don't agree with what I said, if you have something to add to this piece of conversation, let me know. You are my community, and I want to embrace you all just as much as you embrace me. And I'm super grateful for anyone who made it to the end of this video, because boy, I'm just grateful for you. So my goal is to challenge myself to go live every day this month. Yes, I did say it again, so that means I have to hold myself accountable to it. But yes, I'm coming out of hermit mode, y'all. I've been in hermit mode for a while, so like just bear with me as I get my flow and how I plan on utilizing this channel. Because we're gonna get a little more spicy, okay? We're gonna start getting spicy. The wheels are gonna start turning, and we're gonna start moving forward. But I'm just playing around with different features on YouTube, because I know they release like the shorts and all of that. So nonetheless, We are going to get our flow, y'all. I promise you that by the mid-July, we are going to have a nice, consistent flow. But as of now, just bear with me. Bear with your girl. And yes, thank you again. I hope that y'all have a wonderful weekend. It is somewhat drizzling, raining here, but I'm liking the vibe, so I'm going to chill for a little bit and get some work done. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week and in a great week. TTYO.